are back in the city of brotherly love. A top 20 showdown in the CAA today as it's New York versus Philly. 20th ranked Hofstra looking to snap a 2-game losing streak, visiting red-hot Drexel right here in our CAA Game of the Week on Lax Sports Network. What's going on, everybody? Alongside the Beast, Greg Gurenlian, I'm Travis Eldridge. Greg, it doesn't get any better than this. A top 20 showdown in the CAA. Everything to play for on a beautiful spring afternoon.
Absolutely massive CAA playoff implications. Two teams that know everything about each other in this massive game. Who can manage the expectations and the pressure and execute best is going to come out on top today.
Hofstra coach Seth Tierney said it to us this week. He said, look, we know the playoffs begin now for us. They're looking at every one of these games the last couple of weeks as must win for the Pride. A couple of guys to watch here and our players to watch. Two guys we've been talking about for years for both of these programs. Starting with Hofstra, it's the Tewaaraton nominee, Ryan Tierney.
Ryan Tierney is the Allen Iverson of this offense. When you need a goal, when you need things to get going, you give him the ball and get out of the way. He doesn't just score goals, he makes other people around him better, and that's why he's a Tewaaraton finalist.
On the other side of things, Reed Bowering struggled with an injury early on in this season, but had his best game of the year last week, dropping 6 goals on Fairfield.
Yeah, the Canadian goal-scoring machine is starting to hit his stride at the perfect time for Drexel. Let's see if he can pump some goals in there today and put them over the top.
And Greg, Reed Bowering actually just the latest of a long run of great performances by this Drexel offensive unit. Each week it's been a different guy. We talked about Bowering last week. A couple of weeks ago was Aiden Cole with the career best 5 goals. You see the freshman Sean Donnelly here running onto the field. A couple of weeks ago against UMass, it was him dropping 8 points. They've got a lot of different options offensively when it comes to who's going to be the guy on any given day.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about having a team that, yes, you're talented from top to bottom, but you don't have that one superstar. And it allows you to kind of get the ball to whoever's hot that day. And like we've talked about before, Drexel, the hotter they are as far as on the sideline, their intensity, the louder they are together, the better they play. So when the fire starts to rise, it doesn't matter who's got their hand in the oven. They're just going for it.
At the face-off X, it is the normal face-off man here for Drexel and Jimmy Coyda facing off against Brian Herber for Hofstra.
2 elite level face-off guys. This is going to be a special battle.
Procedure call against the Dragons, so it'll be the Pride who get the first possession here today. And here is the man, Ryan Tierney, number 13 in Royal Blue, just named a Tewaaraton nominee, one of the top 25 men's players in the country earlier this week. Deservedly so, as he ranks among one of the top players in the country when it comes to goals per game and points, ranking 6th in the nation. It's the first midfield unit of Justin Sykes, James Philbin, and Riley Forte on. This is Sykes through the middle, a stop early here by Bobby Casey. Excuse me, by Ross Blumenthal. Blumenthal, the Drexel goalie, once again in this net here for the Dragons. So an early stop for Blumenthal. And here's Drexel, unsettled situation. George Grippo moves it along. Now Bowering down on the doorstep. That's where he does a lot of his damage, right down there around the crease. And Drexel will get the first midfield unit on. We see Ryan Genord back in the lineup here for the Dragons. Missed the last 2 games. And there's a step down and a shot for another midfielder. Jack Mulcahy strikes first for Drexel.
Yeah, Drexel is a team that loves to get to the center of the field. Games where they have exploded for high goal totals, it's because they've been able to get to the middle of the field, especially near that crease. If you allow these shooters to do that, it's going to be a real long day for you.
We saw one of the best goals of the season from Jack Mulcahy a couple of weeks ago here on LSN. We went one-handed backhand. Here, a little bit more traditional as a violation on Coyda. The back-to-back face-off wins here for the Pride to start the game.
Yeah, Jimmy Coyda is going to have a big game today for Drexel. Brian Herbert can completely take over a game.
Here's Tierney. Gets that matchup with Sean Quinn, as we expected. Quinn, one of the best shutdown guys in the league. Got a step as Quinn fell down. Forte hits the turf, and he's got to retreat. All kept alive there around midfield. Still plenty of time for the Pride.
That's a huge ground ball because Drexel is flying around early. We talked about their ability once they start to get real pumped up. Some teams have to manage that. These guys, emotionally, the higher they are, the better they play.
Tierney feeds. Philbin scores. The Pride answer back, ties it up at 1.
There's a reason Ryan Tierney is a Tewaaraton finalist. It's not because he always makes, sick goals. Watch this. 2 guys are sliding to him, and he just turns his head and knows exactly where the cutter's going to be. Having such a command over this offense, it's like being a quarterback throwing the ball to where your receiver should be. That's just a phenomenal play by a phenomenal athlete.
James Philbin with his 14th goal of the year. Remember, Tierney, a guy who kind of got shut down by Delaware last week. Held to just a goal and an assist. Didn't score until the final 10 seconds of the game, the one that actually tied it up against the Blue Hens to force overtime. So I was interested to see how quickly he could get going here against Drexel. And whenever Tierney is putting up points, that is a good news for Hofstra.
Yeah, I mean, this offense goes as far as Ryan Tierney goes. Not just at him scoring goals, but like we said, he causes you to have to obsess over him the whole game, which leaves other guys open. And if on that last play, you have a very stout defense, 2 guys slid at the same time. That doesn't happen unless you're scared to death of an athlete.
Drexel ball off that face-off, else Mulcahy dodges again. Ryan Genord's behind the back pass, tough. How about the play by Bowering to keep it in? Somehow.
That was tremendous.
And here Drexel keeps possession, but they threw it away. Donnelly tried to force it through the defense. Got to keep an eye on Michael Altman in transition. Long pole with 2 goals and 4 assists already this year. And they'll settle it down here at X. This is Matt Elder getting the start. Alex Kincannon missed a couple of games due to injury, came back the last couple of weeks, has done a little bit, but still a little banged up, so he's not in the starting lineup attack-wise. This is Ryan Sheridan, part of the second midfield unit for Hofstra. Joined by Sterling Ardrey in that second unit. Sheridan with the short stick. Ardrey gets the hand free, and he goes up top. Sterling with a snipe. It's 2-1 Pride.
This was a bullet. See that replay, man. This is a textbook alley dodge. Go right. Doesn't have a ton of angle, and he sticks it exactly where it needs to go. Offside, top corner. Booyah.
Sterling Ardrey, just his 3rd goal of the season, the junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Last year was 7 goals in 7 games, which matched his career high that he hit in 2019 as well, as Drexel wins a faceoff. Keep an eye on this second midfield unit for the Dragons. They've been difference makers, including this guy, the freshman Luke Tomac out of Connecticut. Here he is, hands free, bounce shot high.
Great dodge, and you see there, once again, wing dodge, and then tries to cut it back into the middle of the field. These middies and attackmen are all very talented at getting to the spots they want.
Casey Waller in there in the second midfield, joined now by Zach Augustine. Feeds into the middle. Waller hit a brick wall inside, and Altman with a great play for the ground ball.
when feeding the crease goes wrong. That was a great collapse by the Hofstra D on that one.
Extra pass is stopped by Blumenthal. It's a good look for Linsky. Ground ball in front. Altman, right place, right time for the Pride. And they'll keep the offensive possession. Hofstra will get the offensive midfield on. Once again, that second unit with Sheridan, Ardrey. Joined by Bryce Tolmie, number 9. Here is Tolmie on the run, just wide. This Hofstra offense averaging nearly 14 goals per game, 13.5 on the year. Coming in 3-3 in CAA play. A game back of Drexel, who's in second place at 4-2.
The cool thing about Coach Tierney's offensive setup is not just to get the ball to Ryan. They use him within their offense, so you won't just see the ball just sit back there at X and Ryan kind of dodging and trying to create things. They use him and his talent within the offense, so you're going to see the ball spin around and you're going to see guys moving and cutting. That's what's so cool about this offense.
Turned it over there. An ambitious one-handed pass by the Canadian Ryan Sheridan. So now Ryan Genord at the other end, playing his first game in a couple of weeks, back in there. There's a big play coming out of the box, and we got a flag down. So Drexel's gonna go man up here. Donnelly, shot saved by Bobby Casey in goal, and that'll trigger the flag. Dylan McDermott coming out of the box, and he got him in the back. Always good to have microphones in the same side as Coach Seth Tierney. Creates all sorts of entertainment.
Oh, man. Coach Tierney, all-world Mike.
So man up here for Drexel, down 2-1 early. 32% on the year of the man up, and he turned it over. Michael Altman has been really active so far, the LSM, early on in this game. And it's Dominic Pryor who gets it over with the one-man clear. And a chance to kill off the last couple of seconds of the man up. And we're back to even strength. Hofstra would sign up for that type of man-down situation 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, yeah, especially against an offense as potent as this.
So the Pride back on offense, even strength. First midfield back on. Philbin already with a goal today. He has it here, matched up against Luke Hurley, the short stick, 5-year starter for the Dragons. Sykes matched up with Grippo. Grippo's been really good this year. And he is hounding Justin Sykes. And we got a call on Hofstra. That'll give it to Drexel. Great defense.
You're right, Travis. Grippo, you would think he has a long pole. I mean, he is so good at, just as his opponent starts his dodge and puts that foot in the ground, he throws that poke, and he's so tenacious and strong on the ground ball lure that you would, I mean, he literally has statistics that might make you think he's a long pole.
Yeah, 10 ground balls, 11 caused turnovers on the year coming into today. 11 caused turnovers. Most close defensemen would be pretty happy with that.
Exactly. That bodes very well for guys who are looking for D-middies at the next level in the PLL. If you can be that physical and good at taking the ball away without losing your step, that's exactly what they're looking for.
That ball deflected off a helmet, and I don't know, they must have ruled it was not a shot because it deflected out of bounds. So Hofstra gets possession. Maybe the Pride was just closest to it there on the sideline.
Yeah, that all happened real fast.
Hey, we got a Call on Drexel. A few words exchanged as well.
Yeah, don't forget where these two schools are from. I mean, this is a Philly-Long Island battle.
You mix in the fact that both these teams are really, you look especially with Delaware, what they did to Townsend earlier today, a dominant win for the Blue Hens. You're looking at four teams now for 3 spots in the CAA tournament. These are 2 of the teams in the mix as we got another turnover. That ground ball picked up by Brennan Greenwald, but transition chance comes up empty for Drexel.
Yeah, you're right, Travis. When you look at Seth Tierney, who is not a dramatic person, he's a very factual and down-to-earth person. When he says this is a playoff game, he means it. It's exactly that. They have to win this.
This is a matchup. The last time these two teams played back in 2019, it was a win for Drexel on Long Island. A win this week of the regular season, second to last week, that actually clinched the Dragons a spot in the CAA tournament. No clinching scenarios per se here for Drexel, but they win today. They got to feel really good with a 5-2 record here in the conference. Passes.
Yeah, they're going to have some very happy seniors if that's the case.
Absolutely. Got a quick restart, and they're going to bring it back. Reed Bowering was like, I don't need to stop, do I?
The defenders had no issue getting a few whacks in before that whistle, though.
That is for sure, yeah. Free run and then a couple of free checks. So Colin Mailman comes on as part of this first midfield unit for Drexel. Had a nice goal last week against Fairfield. Has gained a ton of attention with what he did a couple of years ago. Great athletic ability, Mailman, the senior out of York, Pennsylvania. This is Mulcahy at X. Now to Genord at the top. Bowering, a short stick matchup.
What I love about that is Bowering has a short stick matchup. He tests the waters. It's not there, so then he dishes it. He doesn't force it, and that's what's so cool about this Boyle offense.
Stephen Boyle, the offensive coordinator for the Dragons. Good ball movement.
You'll never see the ball stop moving on this offense. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah, it is quick. You've seen it put up numbers so far this year as well. Bowering sends it across. Donnelly fakes and scores. A terrific look from Reed Bowering across. Excuse me, it's Mulcahy on the doorstep. We're knotted up at 2.
This is 2 guys doing what they are really, really good at doing. I mean, this is super high-level lacrosse. The whole defense is staring, backpedaling, 3-quarter, right on the stick, and a great catch and finish. The composure of a D1 attackman to be able to catch as you're kind of tiptoeing that line, throw a fake first just to be sure. That's very high-level lacrosse right there. That's great stuff.
Mulcahy with both goals so far, now up to 11 on the year. Face-off win for Herbert Clean. Not shy, but is stopped by Blumenthal.
Huge stop. It is really tough. I can tell you as a face-off guy talking to friends who are goalies, it is tough to stop a face-off guy's shot. Not only are we shooting from like 4 yards away, but you never know what angle that ball is coming out of that bent stick. So that's just a great save to make, and it's such a massive change of direction as far as the sideline if you get that goal for Hofstra.
Yeah, it's a huge momentum swing either way. Either a face-off guy gets all the momentum for his team, or the goalie can steal it back by a save and a good outlet to get an offensive possession.
Oh yeah, defenders are all giving the goalie a pat now because that was huge.
So Drexel back to work offensively. Here's Sean Donnelly. Held without a point last week against Fairfield. Syracuse transfer, took a shot at the helmet. How did Bowering put that in all sorts of traffic, and Reed, the Canadian, finishes. Dragons on top.
What a finish. If you give, you will receive. He had that crazy assist on the last goal. It's his turn to make a great catch. getting hit by 3 people at the same time. Wow.
He knew if he held on to that too long, he was going to get demolished by a bunch of blue jerseys. And so he said, why don't we go ahead and quick stick this?
That was tremendous.
Violation on Coyda. Gives it back to Hofstra here off the faceoff. Not much has separated these two here in the first quarter so far, 13 minutes in.
No, we're definitely getting the battle we thought we would. Back and forth right now.
Tierney right-handed on the run. It was deflected, but the Pride keep possession. I think so many people expect him to sling that thing left-handed. Sometimes it catches you off guard when he goes with the right. Tierney draws the double team right on the doorstep. I don't know if he took his eye off of it, if it was deflected, but it was just a little off.
Yeah, you got to be, like when we saw these 2 catches and scores for Drexel inside, I mean, everything has to happen so perfectly. We're talking a matter of inches, and like you said, it could have been a deflection, a shaft, a little bit of light in your eye, like anything could go wrong.
Pride able to get the possession back on the right. And it's back in the stick of Tierney. Hofstra can hold for 1 here at the end of the quarter if they want. Shot clock is just a second or 2 over what the game clock is here in the final minute. Ardrey has his stick deflected. It was Grippo again.
Grippo is everywhere.
Transition chance, slings it across, Bowering! It can happen that fast for the Dragons, another one, and they're up by 2.
This is 2021 Dragon Lacrosse. Ball on the turf, tough, gritty, short stick D, 2 to 3 passes up the field as fast as you can and get that ball into transition offense. Man, yard sale.
Grippo picks up the assist here as he went end to end. He can do it all. That's his 6th point of the year, and anytime Reed Bowering's that open, it's going to be trouble for your goalie.
Like I said, there's right there's a couple of future Premier Lacrosse League talents for sure. Really good at what they do.
Already seen Reed Bowering get drafted in the NLL. He was the 2nd overall pick by Vancouver, his hometown team. And we've got a slash called on Ryan Tierney. So this is a man-down face-off for Hofstra. They did well just to have a chance at that ground ball. But it goes back over to Drexel. So if they would like to, they can hold on to this ball and erase the face-off for the start of the second quarter and keep possession. Chance at a momentum swing here. Drexel has scored 3 in a row. You hear coaching staff for Drexel say, Ryan Genord, hold on to this ball, and that's what they'll do. They'll have 24 seconds on the man up when we start this second quarter. This is just what you expected between these two coming in. A top 20 battle here in Philadelphia, and it has been entertaining. End-to-end action for both teams. It's the Dragons with a 2-goal lead as they've scored 3 in a row thanks to a couple from Reed Bowering. Back here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Drexel on top 4-2 in a top 20 battle thanks to that man, Reed Bowering, coming off a 6-goal performance last week against Fairfield. He's got 2 goals and an assist here in the first quarter to lead the Dragons. And they start the second quarter on the man up. 20 seconds bleed over into the second quarter, so they don't even need to win a face-off. Get possession as Aiden Cole has it.
When you're man up or man down, you hold the possession, you get the ball automatically in the ensuing quarter, so smart move by them.
3 seconds left on the man up. Bowering. Here comes the Hofstra defender, and we're back to even strength. Drexel 0 for 2 on the man up here in the first half. On the run, Genord feeds, Bowering behind the back, deflected.
Both offenses seem just hell-bent on getting to the middle of the field in the crease right now. Sometimes it's working for some really cool goals, but other times they're getting their attackmen killed in there.
Yeah, they are not afraid. Here is Donnelly on the run, sends it wide. By the way, the save and deflection in front, they say it was a change of possession. So Drexel got a fresh 80 seconds, so still 60 to work. Donnelly feeds across, another one goes. It's Bowering again, but is he in the crease? He is, wave it off. Couldn't tiptoe it.
Yeah, it was close, but as you can tell, that's the game plan it looks like today. Force that backside. I guess they see something in the way Hofstra slides, and they're looking at attacking that backside on the second slide, because it's been there. It's been there multiple times so far.
Yeah, almost third goal of the game for Bowering. Instead, we go the other way. Hofstra looking to cool off this 3-goal run for Drexel. Here's Ryan Tierney. An assist in the first quarter. Feeds down to Justin Linsky. Elder took his eyes off of it. It was a little high as well, and it ends up in the crease of Blumenthal. Patrick Udovich brings it across, and he's offsides. Hofstra.
Coaches hate that.
Look out. Oh, just at the nick of time. I think that was the LSM Jack Farrell that just got a piece of Linsky's stick.
That was a great effort play by Jack. He just saved a stern talking to, going offsides and giving up an ensuing goal. That's going to be a rough next day at practice.
Yeah, in the film, it's a lot better when you don't give up a goal. It's bad enough that you went offsides. Here's Mailman out of the box. He's dangerous from here. Mailman shoots it wide.
Now watch, taking the ball from the end line, watch this Drexel offense. There's either going to be a pick, a pass, or a dodge every single time someone touches the ball.
It's Genord, the midfielder, inverting. Takes his short stick matchup behind, and now it's back out top to Mulcahy, trying to force it in. Cole has it taken away. When you're in that middle part of the defense, you better be ready to roll in this game. Bowering takes it away.
I've been really impressed with Drexel's ride all season, and they're getting it done again. I mean, think about how many more extra possessions Drexel's had already in this first half, just from short stick defense and from riding.
Yeah, it's been an immense. Here's Tomac on the run, stopped by Casey. That was a good first-time ground ball. Michael Altman again. This guy's been all over the field for Hofstra today.
I feel like any time that we've done a Hofstra game, we're talking about Altman like 1/3 of the game.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
I should correct myself. I believe that was Logan Denenza, the grad student, transfer from UMass. Number 76.
Maybe that's why we thought 3 different guys were Altman this whole season.
That could also have been it. This is Tierney. We know who he is on the field. He's hard to miss. Philbin sends it across. Here's Tierney. Wants to get that left hand free. Feeds down low. He had a look, but just a little too much on it for Linsky. And Greg, this feels like what Hofstra continues to have to battle in CAA play. All these teams know Ryan Tierney so well as they try to go quickly. That's stopped by Casey, kicked wide. They know this guy so well that it's how do we adjust and keep Ryan Tierney involved and make our offense flow, even though that's everything, that's all that the opponent's going to want to stop.
Yeah, you make a great point, but if there's any person on earth who's qualified to make that happen, it's Seth Tierney. When you watch him as Team USA's offensive coach in 2018, he managed to get some of the biggest, most talented names in the history of our sport to all become a cog in the machine. And I'm sure he has absolutely no problem doing that with Ryan. And like I said, Ryan is one of those guys who lets the game come to him. He's not going to force the issue and tear your offense apart trying to get his points. He plays very much within the framework of what Coach Seth Tierney has designed, and that's why he scores the points he does.
Here's Mailman on the run. That one, I think Casey got a piece. He did. Resets the shot clock. Casey coming up with a trio of saves already in this second quarter.
Yeah, don't let all of our attention on both offenses make you forget how good both of these goaltenders are.
Yeah, both guys multi-year starters at each of these programs as Bowering looks for Aiden Cole. This is Michael Altman who picks up the ground ball. Tried to save it on the sideline.
I will say as an aside, it's pretty awesome to see some fans in the stands here on senior day. I know it's been a crazy year and a half for these kids. So at least these seniors get to have their families and friends in the stands on their final home game.
Agreed. Very cool. And it's nice to have a little atmosphere for a game that obviously means so much for both teams. Here's another look at that Reed Bowering goal. And there he is. He landed right there in that area that you aren't allowed to land in. See that? I think it was his right foot that ended up in that restricted area inside the crease.
Yeah, the crease within a crease. And these kids, they need to get used to that because there might be another crease in like 2 more years when the rules committee has their say.
We got a lot of lines in the field. Tomac crashes, and he ends up in the crease, so it'll go the other way. So we near the midway point of this second quarter. Hofstra trying to respond. 3 unanswered goals by Drexel at the end of the first. Nobody has scored here in the second.
Yeah, and that tends to happen in these conference games. Vice versa, you could either have the game start off completely white-knuckled and everyone's afraid of that first goal, and then things speed up, or they come out of the gates firing, and then the defenses tighten up.
Jump shot from Tolme goes wide. Yeah, I mean, I give both these teams a lot of credit. They're playing free here in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're not, some of the passes that are being attempted, they're not white knuckle. They're playing free. Step down shot for Ardrey. An absolute missile for his second of the day.
I love this kid's game. I mean, there's no nonsense. He has this quick shake, but it's always with purpose. He doesn't dance around. Quick, boom, gets his separation, and then crease cranks it off the hip there, man. That is great placement.
You give that kid time to wind up, and he will make you pay. The junior out of Charlotte with his second of the day. That matches his season total. Now 4 goals on the year. Nice ground ball from Charlie Mailey. Guy who's played short stick and long pole for this Drexel team. With the long pole, he scoops it up and gets the Dragons in possession.
Just a really cool face-off matchup today. Jimmy Coyda, he's a 5th-year senior now at Drexel. Kid learned how to face off 2 years before he graduated high school. Showed up at the Face Off Academy National Showcase, and after that weekend, every coach was talking about him. Earned a full ride to Drexel after playing lacrosse for a couple years in high school. And watching him, just adapt to this game, and now he's going to be graduating from Drexel with a degree. He's just come so far, so it's just really cool to watch.
Absolutely, and a kid, you saw it in real time this year throughout this beginning part of the season, how a guy who had just really gotten used to the old rules adjusted in real time and now has become a really good face-off guy with the new rules.
Yeah. It says a lot about his character and his work ethic. And then on the other side of the stripe, you have Brian Herber, who is undersized compared to Jimmy Coyda, as most people are. And he's right there with him, strength-wise, countering, getting in and out of the ball. It's just really cool to watch. Two totally different stories, but they're all, playing the same position in the same conference.
Here's Donnelly, slides one in, and he's got his first point in the last couple of games. Drexel answers back.
And this is Drexel Lacrosse. There's no one man taking over. Guys are finding each other. They're taking their shots. It's all within the framework of the offense. None of their dodges are out of control. Smooth rotation on that.
Donnelly transferred from Syracuse after not playing there as a freshman. Was one of the top freshman attackmen in the country going into last season, number 36 by Inside Lacrosse. Went to IMG Academy, one of a handful of guys from IMG Academy here on this Drexel offense. I believe that's the third violation on Jimmy Coyda. So that'll be
seeing Herber and Coyda are gumming each other a little bit. Some chirps, in-conference chirps.
Yeah, these guys are familiar with each other. They've had a couple of battles here in conference.
Yeah, and they're both very competitive. Both insanely competitive guys on the field, but really quiet, humble guys off the field. That's what's cool about playing collegiate sports, because it allows you to kind of be a little bit more of the villain of yourself when you're out there and kind of let your emotions go.
So Hofstra man up for the first time today. Philbin is shot. I think it was deflected before it got through. And they're going to give this to Drexel. Nice run out by Patrick Udovich. This Janor trying to run away from everybody, and he will kill off the rest of the man down for Drexel, so we're back to even strength. Both these man-up units have actually been really good this year, both over 30%. Hofstra almost at 40, but over so far on the man-up situation for both teams.
Yeah, and they're both very similar offenses, not in their design, but in their theory of just constantly moving the ball. So when you do that on man up, that's the name of the game, because you have one extra man. So moving the ball, spinning it quickly is going to create success, especially on man up.
That was a nice save by Bobby Casey off of the shot from Donnelly. We have a whistle, and Hofstra will take a timeout to talk things over. We'll step aside as well. Hofstra, when we come back, looking to cut into this Drexel 2-goal lead. Back here in Philly, Drexel up 5-3, 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you, our CAA Game of the Week on Lax Sports Network. Reed Bowring off to a terrific start with a couple of goals and an assist. Actually had one taken away as well. This the pretty feed across. Then on the receiving end by the feed from Donnelly. Bowring showing you a little bit of everything, and then the step down in transition. A guy who's going to be playing professional lacrosse, definitely inside and I think maybe outside as well here, Greg.
Yeah, I think the misconception, a lot of people think, oh, Canadians, like, they're just going to catch the ball in the crease and score. But he does so much more, and you can see a disciplined defense like Hofstra turning heads and ball watching when he has it, because they're scared of what he can do. And a Drexel offense like this that anyone can score any time, you're just asking for it.
Here's Grippo again. He skied to intercept that pass and a chance to go in transition. If you don't know the name George Grippo, you make sure you take notice. This guy's for real, the junior out of New York.
Yeah, he's going to be on draft boards next year. And it is funny because he reminds me so much of Kevin Understein in his game. And Kevin Understein, the Hofstra legend and longtime Team USA and Lizards legend. Grippo, just his game, he's very blue collar. He gets in passing lanes. He can check sticks. He can handle the ball on offense. I mean, this is just great wherewithal right there.
I mean, he got some ups, too. That was not an easy interception. He went up and got it.
Boy, Joe.
So it's Drexel ball off the turnover. Hofstra trying to take it right back. It's short stick appreciation day apparently here on LSM because we got short sticks on both sides making plays.
CAA ball, man. The shorties in the CAA are fantastic. Up and down rosters, year in and year out. And we're seeing some really good defense on display here.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned short sticks in the CAA. Obviously, you got to mention Zach Goodrich from Towson from a couple of years ago, still playing pro lacrosse.
Jake Richards.
Yeah, you got some dudes, man, and we are seeing a couple of dudes out here today. Here's Justin Sykes, gets open top of the box, and nobody home on the feed. Twelfth turnover here for Hofstra in the first half. That's a number that Seth Tierney, I would assume, would like to clean up.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy about that. And especially, you know, like we talked about emotions in a CAA game. That was casual. Pick up that glove.
We saw Patrick Cavanaugh have to get stopped because he was playing without a shoe at the end of that Duke Notre Dame game on Thursday. Here they just let Mulcahy pick up the glove and keep going. Mailman on the run.
Cavanaugh basically shot himself right out of his shoes. I mean, he was playing at an unprecedented in that game.
Yeah, that was a special performance early on from Patrick Cavanaugh. And then somehow Duke finds a way to win. That was a heck of a game on Thursday night.
Well, it looked like in that game, like Sowers may have read the tweets coming out. People were chirping him, and he turned it on. So just learn your lesson. Be quiet until the game's over when you're playing Duke.
That's for sure. Genord sends it high. 30 seconds still to operate for the Drexel offense. Got a whistle, and somebody stepped in the crease for Drexel. I think it was Aiden Cole because he kind of gave the ref the look with the hands up.
A lacrosse player going palms up to the ref? Never happened.
Easy clear for Hofstra. Just one goal for each team in this second quarter. Pride still down by 2. Top 20 showdown here in Philly. Hofstra team that got off to a terrific start last week against Delaware, but was not able to close. That feed deflected in front. It kept alive by Elder. The active sticks for Drexel have been really tough for this Hofstra offense so far.
Well, you got one of the greatest defensive legends as your defensive coordinator in Tucker Durkin. That will be a staple, passing lane sticks at all times.
Yeah, that certainly helps. Linsky gets rid of it. Elder, Forte. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Another deflection. Farrell got a piece, but Forte keeps it alive. Tierney with 9. Tierney, one-handed. Oh, that would have been unreal. He nearly went one-handed. I think he tried to do the DeHogan Anacoke one-handed through the legs. I mean, he didn't really have many other options. But that one sent wide. It didn't hit the goalie, so it ends up being a shot clock violation. That would have been incredible.
The amount of rope you're allowed to have as a Tewaaraton finalist is long, and then with 3 seconds left, you're pretty much allowed to do whatever you want on the shot clock.
Yeah, Ryan took full advantage of both of those situations as Drexel takes the timeout. They'll reset things here with 54 seconds left. Here's another look. I mean, that was going to be an all-timer for Ryan Tierney. That's one of those you put at the top of the highlight reel if it goes.
And you know what Tucker Durkin is telling his close defenders right now? Did you see what that guy just tried to do to us? He tried to put you on SportsCenter. Next time he's in the crease, bury him. Because you're going to take that personally if you think you guys get a little crafty in there on you.
That's for sure. I think it was funny. We were talking, I had a chance to talk with goalie Bobby Casey for Hofstra earlier this year, and I asked him about taking shots against Ryan Tierney and And he said, you know, the good news is in practice they don't have cameras because then I don't end up on SportsCenter.
I can imagine the things that Ryan Tierney pulls off in practice.
Poor Bobby Casey was also a freshman on a team that featured Josh Byrne, and so he was the practice goalie against the likes of Josh Byrne and Ryan Tierney on the same offense. And he said Josh Byrne threw some things that he had never seen before when he first got to college.
And, you know, that's why I'm sticking to my guns. I know face-off guys, we're weird. But goalies, you guys are psychopaths. You know, you get to this sport, you go, wow, this sport's really cool. What position do you want to play? Well, I want to be the one getting hit with a lacrosse ball. Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, it takes a special mindset in order to step in the crease, especially at this level and above.
I will always stick to the rule that Drew Adams is weirder than me. I will always go down fighting with that.
So coming out of the timeout, under a minute to go in the first half, a chance for Drexel to add to the 2-goal lead. They can hold for one here as the shot clock's at 53, game clock at 43. This is Tomac. He has shown terrific athletic ability off the dodge so far early on in his freshman year. Feeds, Cole scores! Tomac creating again. This time it's Aiden Cole with his first of the day.
Aiden Cole, perfect, right in the middle of the crease. And Coach Tierney is going to rip his defense in half after this. 30 seconds left in the half. And this guy couldn't be more wide open in the most important spot on offense. And it's unfortunate because you can tell 19 was coming down and he wanted to show and then get back to the crease, but he slipped. And that's really where the issue is. But he's going to be more mad at the backside guy who should have been covering as well, and he wasn't there in time.
Cole, a guy who really exploded for a big day against Delaware, a huge win for Drexel 2 weeks ago. And the Dragons get another possession on the face-off win. 20 seconds left in the half. And we're going to get another timeout, I believe. We will. So Drexel keeps possession. Use it or lose it with your second timeout here in the half, and Coach Brian Volker will keep it. Chance to remind you that LSN, you're home for the CAA tournament, both the men's and women's. It all starts Thursday, May 6th, the week from this coming Thursday. You got the men's semifinals, then on Friday the 7th, the men's championship game coming your way Saturday, May 8th, and the women's championship on Sunday. You can watch all of those games live on Lax Sports Network. Of course, the men's championship, no matter how the standings shape out, will be at Hofstra Stewart Stadium. That was decided prior to the year due to the pandemic. They didn't want to have the logistical issues of figuring out the week before who was going to host as the top seed. So no matter if Hofstra is in, out, whatever, Stewart Stadium is the spot for the men's tournament. Hofstra, of course, right there in the mix, as we talked about before. Currently at 3-3 in the conference. They came into today tied with both UMass and Towson. Towson already lost today, getting kind of blown out by Delaware earlier on, and UMass won. So UMass gets to 4-3. Hofstra with a win today would get to 4-3. And that would put themselves in a good spot with a game against Fairfield to close things out next weekend.
Kudos to the CAA for being proactive on that, coming up with that destination location early.
Almost a great feed there for Bowering on the doorstep, but he goes in the crease. 3 seconds left. Altman sends it the distance. And that will do it for this first half. A back and forth first 30 minutes here in Philadelphia, but Drexel with a late goal here in the final minute of the half, and they lead by 3. 12th ranked team in the country looking for their 6th consecutive win. They got a 3-goal advantage at the half. We'll send you back inside the LSN studio now for halftime. Back here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Drexel looking for their 6th consecutive win and off to a good start. They've got a 6-3 lead here at the half. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you for our CAA Game of the Week here on Lax Sports Network. Let's take a look back at these first half highlights, it started back and forth. Both these teams came to play loose, fast offense. Jack Mulcahy got the scoring started with a one-handed effort. One individual effort, one-man effort. But Ryan Tierney feeding James Philbin to respond. We went back and forth early. And Sterling Archery, Greg, had a couple of impressive snipes in this first half.
Archery is playing fantastic, but when you look at the difference in these two offenses right now, Drexel's getting it done with constant ball movement and crease passes. Hofstra's getting it done with single, one dodge, beating your man and shooting. So it's going to be interesting to see how those continue to work.
Yeah, and you saw the terrific play by George Grippo. You tweeted about this at halftime. Grippo, the short stick D-midi, had a heck of a first half. He causes the turnover and then goes end-to-end to Reed Bowering.
Yeah, I don't care what position it is. Grippo is one of the most impressive lacrosse players in the country, and he really needs to start getting the respect he deserves because of what he brings to this Drexel team, not just on defense, but also, like you just saw, he sparks offense in transition.
Grippo, by the way, has been credited with 3 caused turnovers and 2 ground balls, along with an assist so far today.
Yeah, that's not in the game. That's in a half.
That's in a first half.
That's a short stick.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat line for a long pole, and he's doing it as a short stick. You see Reed Bowering, you saw a couple of his highlights in that first half montage. He had a couple of goals and an assist. Let's set the scene, though, here, Greg, for everybody when it comes to the CAA standings. Delaware taking care of business against Towson earlier today. They're now 6-1. They seem to be safe as most likely the top seed in the CAA tournament coming up in about a week and a half. Drexel and Hofstra right there in the middle, and depending on what happens here, really makes things interesting. Either Drexel kind of solidifies themselves as maybe the 2 seed, or we've got a mess of teams all in a spot battling for 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, if you're Towson, you're really hoping for a little bit more of a sloppy mix-up. You don't want to see teams starting to run away with this thing.
Tigers going into that game against Delaware, they played them really tough in the first meeting at Delaware, a 1-goal overtime game, but Delaware came to play today as Hofstra wins the opening faceoff of this third quarter. That is about as clean as Brian Herber has won one here, Greg.
Yeah, you have seen about maybe 3 clean wins for either guy today. The rest of them have been 3-on-3 faceoffs. As you guys have all known, they changed the rules to stand up only, and that was kind of the idea, to get more 3-on-3 faceoffs. Not on that one. Herbert got it right on the whistle, and away we go.
By the way, face-off battle, 50-50 in the first half. It explains a lot of what this game has looked like, as Colton Rudd gets the start in the attack unit to start this third quarter. Feeds now back out top to Forte and Ryan Tierney.
Yeah, I would like to see more ball movement out of Hofstra with more deliberate dodging.
There is a deliberate dodge. It's Justin Linsky, his first of the day. The Holy Cross transfer going far side and working the crease well.
This is a great take, and this is what you want to see if you're Hofstra. You get that face-off win, you get on the board. Remember who we are. You know, we're an elite-level team, and it doesn't have to always be Ryan. Let's get after it a little bit here.
By the way, he beat our boy George Grippo. Took him behind, working the attackman with the short stick matchup, and the attackman wins it.
Yeah, and it's easy to say, oh, I thought you said that guy was a great defender. As a shorty, your job isn't to just stuff people as a defender. Your job is to take away half the field. So he sent him up one side of the field, and that's where a defender needs to meet him at GLE or goal line extended so you can get the rotation to defense. We can't expect a shorty to stop an attackman-style offensive player cutting straight to the goal like that.
Another face-off win for Herber, so back-to-back wins for Hofstra to start the third quarter as Philbin works it. Now to Colton Rudd. Rudd with a short stick matchup. Brent McVicker giving him a couple of shots. Now Matt Elder. Pass up top. Ardrey just wide. Or excuse me, Forte.
I would like to see a much heavier dose of Ardrey, though, in this third quarter.
Yeah, he looked really sharp, was able to beat his man, get his own shot a couple of times. 2 goals in that first half for Hofstra. This is Philbin trying for the quick restart. His shot just wide. No resets, only 15 seconds left to shoot for Hofstra. Tierney to start with the ball behind. Matching up against Quinn, trying to get the right hand free as it kind of deflected, and it's picked up by Udovich.
That's great defense for Drexel. Everyone in the country knows what's going to happen on a short shot clock with the ball at the end line. Ryan Tierney's going to take it.
It's turned right back over. Tierney missed the open net. Oh, that was a great ride, and Tierney just couldn't put it on frame.
If he shoots that 99 more times, he makes all of them. So Drexel should be counting their blessings right now.
Great job by Matt Elder in the ride. He actually got his stick lodged in there as Blumenthal was trying to start the clear in the corner, and so they threw it right into Tierney's stick. And it was, the angle was kind of off, but he just missed it. So first offensive possession of the third quarter for the Dragons now. Janort beat his man. Bounce shot stopped by Casey. Bobby Casey settled into a nice second quarter there for Hofstra. Had a good run, especially early on in the second quarter. And he makes a save here early in the third.
Casey is fully capable of taking a game over. So Drexel has to make sure that they keep the ball hot and they're shooting off of a pass so that Casey can't just sit there in the crease and make easy saves and get real hot.
Here is Ardrey, first run of the third quarter for him. Beats his man again on the run. A hat trick for the kid from Charlotte.
Feed the machine. He's gonna beat anybody you put on him right now. If you're Drexel, you really have to start thinking we need to slide early. As soon as he makes that first step, we need to come upfield and turn him into a passer, or else he is going to blitz you guys for more goals in the rest of this game.
And I think that's a great shot of the athleticism from Ardrey. We've seen the athleticism from Grippo and his speed and his physicality, and Ardrey able to blow by him. I think it gives you some good perspective of what kind of player Ardrey is as he makes a great play and a face-off win for Hofstra.
Herber's doing a great job of matching the strength of Jimmy Coyda. When they're getting in these lockups, which really shouldn't happen much anymore, but when they're getting these lockups, Jimmy Coyda is panicking. He's dropping to a knee to pull the ball out. When you drop to the knee to pull the ball out, it doesn't matter where it goes because you're not standing to go chase it. And he's actually lost a couple faceoffs that way today.
This is Tierney, Ardrey, Sheridan. Drexel continues to pressure out. This is Sheridan, the sophomore from British Columbia. Tough angle, stopped by Blumenthal.
I love Blumenthal, how poised he is in that cage, cutting down angles, guys rushing right at him. No hesitation, quick save, immediately looking for the outlet. It's exactly what you want as your back line in lacrosse.
Drexel looking for a little give and go. We've got a crease call on Donnelly. Not a bad look. As a chance to maybe get the ball back. Ground ball picked up by Denenza. Only 5 seconds left to get it over midfield. Denenza will do it himself. Got to get it over before the shot clock hits 60, and that's what Hofstra does. You go back to Blumenthal, and I think the big thing that continues to stand out about him to me, and we've seen it since he was a freshman, as the game gets longer, sometimes his save total won't be high, But in the third and fourth quarter, when Drexel needs a save, he makes the save. He has a kind of like a edge to him, maybe a thrill of the dramatic to him. He can make the save in the big moments that helps this Drexel team win.
That's a great point. I know on the Face-Off Academy, sometimes we tell our face-off guys, don't forget who you are. And I think, you know, he has the exact same mentality. He is very aware of his talent and who he is, and the confidence goes up as the game gets more on the line, like you just mentioned.
And he comes up with a save here on Tierney. Donnelly falls down. Ball loose, and it's scooped up finally by Drexel, Aiden Cole. And they'll settle things down. All of a sudden, that Dragon 3-goal lead at the half has dwindled down to 1. Hofstra with 2 goals in the first half of this third quarter. This is a fun matchup between Mailman and Altman. Mailman uses the screen. Feeds back out top. Mulcahy stopped. That was what they were looking for. They drew all the attention down the near side and scooped it back out top. It was a step down shot for Mulcahy that they'll take.
Yeah, and we're starting to kind of feel this goalie competition going on right now, right? And, you know, this is where the ego comes in. I got to outdo the guy on the other end, keep my team in this.
Yeah, both guys with 2 saves already in this third quarter. Colton Rudd, the sophomore out of Georgia, has a short stick matchup behind. Feeds Forte. On the run, Philbin has it deflected, ends up right in Matt Elder's stick, and a save by Blumenthal. Resets the shot clock here for Hofstra. Tierney! That came out of the stick funky.
Man, Blumenthal's everywhere. Every corner of the goal, he's dropping low. He's seeing the ball really well right now.
Third save of this half already. Tierney versus Sean Quinn has been the matchup all day. And how about what Sean Quinn has done the last couple of weeks? He's taken some of the best players in the conference and really made them work. Saw it against Dylan Beckwith last week from Fairfield. Good look. Rudd off the bar. Resets the shot clock again, so a long offensive possession for Hofstra.
This is where your sideline's getting a little nervous because Hofstra's like circling sharks right now, you know, taking little nibbles, and you just feel like it's a matter of time before they punch one through here.
Good patience for the Pride. Well, give and go with Forte. That was a good look off just wide. Justin Linsky to restart. The Holy Cross transfers had a great year, 20 goals, 14 assists. And Udovich comes up with a ground ball. Much needed stop for Drexel.
Yeah, you're going to have the whole Drexel sideline screaming, slow it down, get a possession here.
Never mind, Donnelly on the doorstep to Cole. Aiden Cole, a little fake in his score, and Drexel, maybe a 2-goal turnaround as they lead now 7-5.
This is where you've been on defense for about 3 minutes. You get the ball over, the whole sideline's going, no, 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 yes! Hold it, guys. Never mind, great shot, kid.
Donnelly recognizing there was a little 2-on-1 that Tom Ford was trying to play, the pull on that side of the defense. He had to pick and choose. He didn't want Donnelly to shoot, so he makes him make the pass, and then Cole, 1-on-1 with the goalie, wins the battle.
And that's just trusting your offensive players to make the right decision. I mean, you have to take that chance.
Our officials are going to talk something over here, as originally it was given to Drexel on the faceoff. offsetting technical fouls, so we're going to face off again. I'm assuming that it was a push and maybe a procedure all at the same time.
Well, sometimes when a player is lifting the other player's stick to counter him, which you're allowed to do, the player who has the ball will fall to his knees and try to draw a hold call. And it looks like one referee fell for it and the other didn't.
Locked up with Coyda and Herber. And that is a procedure call on Coyda.
I don't know what possibly could have been called on Coyda, but Hofstra ball's Hofstra ball nonetheless.
Ball. So after that long extended offensive possession where they got 2 shot clock resets, ended up with nothing. They're back down by 2, but another possession as we near 5 minutes to go in the quarter.
That's a great point, Travis, too. I mean, what a backbreaker. You're playing great offense. You hold the ball for a very long possession.
Sheridan.
And then quick transition.
He says, we don't need shot clock resets. I'll just cash in on one.
This is huge, though. You know, like we just mentioned, that was kind of a back-breaking situation. They're fortunate enough to get that win on the face-off. Have at it, young man.
Just beast mode for the sophomore out of British Columbia. Had a couple of goals last week against Delaware. Here his 3rd goal of the season. And I think we continue to see from both teams the depth of offense becomes so important at this time of the year. Where's your 3rd or 4th midfielder that's going to get the short stick matchup that can beat his man and then create?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the cool thing about this. These are very unselfish designed offenses. Whether you have a stud or not, everyone's going to get their shot because it's about the motion, not about the talent.
Jimmy Coyda is not a guy I'd like to have come full head of steam at me, and he was eventually stopped, and Drexel will get the offensive possession.
Sometimes Jimmy, when he has the ball, looks like almost Jim Brownish, like he's looking for someone to hit.
Yeah. It's 100% right. He looks like a running back coming full head of steam at you.
Yeah. He just learned how to cradle like 3 years ago, so.
Augustine, the feed, somehow Bowering. What an individual effort by Reed Bowering, the catch and the score. Drexel back up 2.
Oh my goodness, the Crease Dragons striking again. Keep feeding it inside to the big dog. The body control and the hand-eye coordination is obscene.
That is fully the influence of the box game for Reed Bowering. By the way, he plays out the back door in the NLL when he's going to play at the next level. He's a defender. So you think that Vancouver's happy to see a guy that is playing out the back door that now has that kind of offensive skill that can go end to end in the NLL? I think so.
Yeah, he'll be a tranny. He'll be a transitional player in the indoor game. He can do everything.
I think we were talking about it, myself and Davey Ebola last week when we had a chance to watch this Drexel team play. You see it in Reed Bowering's ability to ride as well as Hofstra turns it over. The influence of going man-on-man in the indoor game and having to match up defensively certainly helps when it comes to riding here at this level outside.
Oh, absolutely. You think about how much that creates for a team if you have athletic guys that are willing to sell out on the ride at all times for you. You're cutting into the other team's clock. You're getting the ball back for extra possessions. Huge difference.
First midfield on for Drexel. Mulcahy, Genord, and Mailman. This is Genord. On the run, it's wide. Mentioned before, Genord playing his first game in a couple of weeks. Still looking for that first goal since he's been back. Mulcahy, shot never got through. Nice play by Donnelly, but just missed by Janur. That was a good job by Sean to keep it alive there on the end line.
I mean, that's just indicative. Have you seen any uncontested, like, all-out war ground balls in this game? I mean, every single time that ball's on the turf, I feel like 2 to 3 guys on each squad are trying to kill each other to get it, and that's CAA ball. And like Coach said, this is a playoff atmosphere right now, through and through.
100% as Tom Ford brings it across. The dangerous spot for Forte up there, right around the substitution box, but the midfielder able to get out of that, no issues.
Yeah, in this game, you do not want to be anywhere near the substitution box.
Guy comes on full head of steam, look out.
Yeah.
Colton Rudd rolls, caught by Linsky inside on a knee, but it's turned over, a little bounce pass. Here comes Quinn in transition. Sean Quinn, long pull stopped. I think that hit the post. End to end we go. Here comes Rudd. And Linsky will settle things down. That was a golden chance for Sean Quinn.
Oh man, he already had his celly planned. That was a great save. Was that all pipe on that?
There may have been a piece as well. I couldn't tell from our angle. Credited with a save officially, so we'll give Casey the benefit of the doubt. Makes his stop. It's Colton Rudd,
well done.
Linsky, Philbin now who slips. Still 30 seconds on the shot clock for Hofstra. Linsky feeds inside, Elder deflected, and he comes up with his own GB. Now Tierney. Great check by Quinn. Still 12 seconds left on the shot clock as Tierney gets it back. 7 seconds now for Elder. Gotta go. In front, shot wide, and I don't think it got waved off before the shot. Shot clock violation of the Pride.
Man, every time Ryan Tierney gets the ball, there is a defender in his path and a defender trailing him. If he moves laterally across the field, it's not going to do much for him because they're going to be bookending it. He's got to get more north-south, particularly coming from behind the cage.
Turnover in midfield, and a good ride by Hofstra this time. 15 seconds left in the quarter. Linsky, feed, it got all the way through to Blumenthal. It's deflected and kept out. Long pass ahead. 4 seconds left. Bowering sends it in front. Caught. They somehow got a shot off there. And that is how our third quarter will end. Great individual effort from both sides. End-to-end action to end this third quarter. The Dragons lead by 2 with 15 minutes to go. Looking to extend that winning streak to 6. Reed Bowering and company 15 minutes away. We got a 2-goal game here with 15 minutes to go between number 20 Hofstra and 12th ranked Drexel. The Dragons up 8-6 here in Philadelphia. Travis Eldridge, Greg Gorenlian back with you. Our CAA Game of the Week on Lax Sports Network. We saw end-to-end action to end the third quarter, and we expect a fun final 15 minutes here. It's been a fun face-off battle to watch as Jimmy Coyda wins the first face-off of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, the face-off battle has been indicative of this whole game. It's been relatively even. I think what's been putting Drexel over the top is their ability to finish inside and their ability to get the ball quickly upfield to create transition opportunities out of the defensive zone.
They wait to get the offensive midfielders on here. This is Mailman. He's gotten that pull in the midfield just about all game long. Erie matches up against Dominic Pryor. Now Janur. He gets it to Tomac. The freshman on the run, and he finds a corner. Dragons back up by 3.
Yeah, the shooting efficiency continues. Whether they're dodging down the alley, they're getting inside, or they're on the crease, they're picking their spots at full speed and they're hitting them.
Luke Tomac continues to show why he's getting playing time right away as a freshman. That's his 6th goal of the season. Actually missed the first handful of games this year due to an injury. He was a guy that as soon as they saw him here in the kind of preseason, the limited preseason that there was for Drexel, Coach Brian Volker knew he could be a contributor. And so when he came back into the lineup, he is really produced. Had 3 points last week against Fairfield on 2-1. As Brian Herbert wins an important face-off here for Hofstra.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to Coach Volker earlier in the season, asking him after a couple of games, you know, what do you expect from your freshmen? He's like, I still don't quite know what these kids look like. I didn't see them all at fall ball. I haven't seen any of them without a mask on. So it's just been very cool to see how this entire lacrosse community, whether you're playing in D1, 2, or 3, coaches and players coming together to make this season work.
And that run out won by Drexel. Sean Quinn, the defenseman, won that run out to the sideline off the missed shot. And so a possession for the Dragons.
This is a huge defensive possession for Hofstra. 3 goals isn't much in the CAA, but you go down 4 and Drexel continues to gain momentum, it's going to be an uphill battle.
Genord, now Tomac. Aiden Cole, who has a couple of goals today for the Dragons. You mentioned it in the open. They have so many different weapons offensively. Any given week, it can be about one of 5 or 6 guys that shows out. Mulcahy sends to Genord. Tomac, one more pass. Donnelly got stuck at his stick for a second.
That was great rotation on the backside by Hofstra, though, to get there in time to get a little piece of that.
Nearing 15 seconds on the shot clock. Genord has to go, and he stings the top. A low-to-high rip from Ryan Genord. His 17th goal of the year.
This is a very difficult play to pull off. Backpedaling while there's a man on you. It's great that he steps away because it creates a separation away from the check. But if you watch, his head doesn't turn towards the goal until as he's releasing the ball, which is nuts. But this Stephen Boyle offense is designed for ball movement, and we're still seeing some very individual dodges and goals. If it's all working together at the same time, this team can't be stopped.
Largest lead of the game for Drexel. It's now 4 at 10-6 as Genord scores his first goal in the last 3 games. Not in the lineup, not available the last 2 games for the Dragons, but making his return here this week, and he gets one to go. Despite missing those games, to tell you how good Genord has been in this offense, he was still 3rd on the team in goals with 16. Had a great start to the season. Here's Mailman now. Tomac beats his man and goes 5-hole. The freshman with his 2nd of the day.
Yeah, and this is going back to what I was saying before the last goal, is this is danger time for Hofstra. You can start to see the quick stand start to develop. Drexel's getting loose. They're getting to their spots. And this game can get out of hand if Hofstra doesn't win in a couple faceoffs and get some balls in the net.
Timeout, Hofstra. Oh, the momentum here in the 4th quarter going the way of Drexel. The Dragons roaring. They're up by 5 in the 4th. Dragons with their largest lead of the day. It is 5 as they lead 20th ranked Hofstra 11-6, 11:39 to go. Just about everything going the way of the Dragons, and Really, this offense continues to show its versatility. We've got Tomac with a pair, Mulcahy's got 2, Cole with 2, Reed Bowering with 3. Got a great depth of scoring, and they've got Jimmy Coyda, who's starting to feel it at the faceoff X.
Yeah, once Jimmy's on the whistle and he's in rhythm, he is really tough to stop. He's got the hand speed, but he's such a big, strong athlete. It's impossible to push him off the ball.
Another face-off win for Coyda. Coming into this game, on this current 5-game winning streak for Drexel, Coyda up there around 55% in those games. On the year, he's right around 51%. But we mentioned it was a slow start to the year for Coyda as he continued to adjust to the new standing neutral grip only rules. And it really feels like the last handful of weeks is when he's been at his best.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, that's been the case for most face-off guys around the country. They, you know, this new stance, not being able to really meet with people to practice it for a whole year, it's been an experiment.
Mulcahy all the way around, a big, must-needed save by Bobby Casey. The outlet pass up ahead to Corey Kale. Huge offensive possession here for Hofstra, and they threw it away. Quinn lofts it across, and Reed Bowering doing what you'd expect the grad student to do. He settles it down.
It's so interesting to see units embody their coordinator, right? Stephen Boyle, super talented, but very knowledgeable attackman, calm, cool, and collective, known for his decision making. And you're seeing it with the kind of the swagger of his offense. Same thing on the defensive end. Tucker Durkin, an aggressive, strong, and intelligent defender. And these are 2 very good young coordinators that you're going to be hearing about for a long time in Division I.
Yeah, Coach Brian Volker has put together one heck of a staff here at Drexel. Boyle has obviously been here for a little bit longer than Tucker Durkin. Durkin just in his 2nd year. That pass somehow got all the way through to Bowering. 13 left on the shot clock. Cole, 5, goes for the dive, and it's sent high. Still 1 second left here for Drexel. Donnelly will send it behind the cage, and there's the shot clock violation. But what they did was take 80 seconds off the clock. Now under 9 minutes to go at a 5-goal game. This is a Hofstra team that can score in a hurry. They're gonna need to get it rolling here quickly.
Yeah, they can score in bunches. You're absolutely right. They just got to make sure that they're executing the game plan and not get outside of it.
Elder on the far side, beats his man, feeds. Stopped by Blumenthal. Match sticks.
And he did it so casually.
Quickly the other way, Mulcahy out of the box, and he cashes in. Dragons going from save to score, and they're up by 6.
This is the story of the Dragons this year. We talked about it in the first quarter. Save or defensive turnover, and then turn it into instant offense. They get up the field so fast.
Yeah, the great save by Blumenthal there as he goes low on Sam Lutfi. And then just great ball movement up, and George Grippo picking up another assist as Mulcahy filled in the gaps there out of the midfield. And he's got his 3rd of the day.
It's impressive. They look like they're running the West Jenny drill sometimes out there, how fast they just want to get up the field.
Hofstra's going to go man up here on the...
It's a 3rd infraction for Coyda in this half.
Yeah. It is something that Coyda has had kind of plagued him the last couple of weeks as he's
it's been plaguing everybody across the country. And the reason being is you wonder how are guys going early so much. The referees' cadence, because of COVID, instead of putting their hands over the sticks and saying set and backing out, they're all doing it whatever way they're comfortable. So sometimes the ref will stand back there 5 yards and you're guessing.
There it is, the very necessary man-up goal for Hofstra. It's James Philbin on the doorstep. It ends the run as there's still 7 seconds.
Yeah, the man-up should be over now.
I think there's another flag down that we did not see. Dead ball foul.
4-0, full-time serve, 1 minute. No face-off, white ball.
Oh, it's an unsportsmanlike on Hofstra. They get Riley Forte. Seth Tierney takes issue to that call. It was after the goal was scored, so it's a man-up, full-time served for Drexel, and it wipes off the face-off.
I don't know what was said, but it must have been very outside the box for you to get a locked-in man-up penalty now.
That goal by Philbin ended a 5-goal Drexel run. It was an 8-6 game late in the third quarter, but it's been a big run. They've scored 5 of the last 6 is Drexel. Trying to cash in as that one comes out of Bowering's stick. Still 30 seconds on the man up.
I think Hofstra was expecting Drexel to just kill the whole minute, and that is not how Drexel rolls, so they better be careful because they almost got crushed in the crease on that easy goal.
Genord. Tomac looking. Tomac fires. Casey eats it up in front. It's underneath him. And so we're back to even strength as Hofstra gets a possession back.
That's huge. What a save. If that can get Hofstra a possession now and get a goal, they're back in this thing.
Ryan Tierney, they have done a good job on him. Held to just 1 assist today. Give a lot of credit to this Drexel defense. Tucker Durkin, the defensive coordinator. Sean Quinn has done a good job with that matchup.
Absolutely.
You see this stat there. Ryan Tierney has a 31-game goal-scoring streak. Got 6 minutes to try to score one here. By the way, he kept that alive by scoring in the final 10 seconds to force overtime against Delaware last week. So he knows what it's like to score late. All sorts of help there on him, and his pass across to Elder is wide. They've just been hounding him.
Yeah, and that's another reason I give Ryan Tierney credit, because a guy that talented, it would be easy for him to just demand the ball and just try to force it throughout the game when he's getting frustrated. But he stays within the framework of the offense, and that's why he gets those late goals. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hofstra pumped in a couple at the end of this game because of that.
And an offsides on Drexel, so Hofstra gets it back. Under 5.5 to go.
And also remember now, Jimmy Coyda has 3 infractions. Every ensuing infraction is another 30 seconds. So he's going to be a little trigger shy on that whistle. He can't be guessing out there. He has to wait to hear it. So it gives Brian Herber a big edge on compounding possessions if they score.
Tierney's shot sent high as Drexel wants a timeout to talk things over, as the Pride will keep possession down by 5 with 5:12 to go. Greg, we continue to see what Drexel has done when it comes to going end to end. The offensive depth, I think, is the thing that we talked about it coming in, and it continues to impress me because you see what kind of sink Hofstra can be knocked out of if somebody really shuts down Ryan Tierney. We're seeing it here at times today. Drexel, You can't really pick somebody to take out of the game because you pick one guy, somebody else is going to go off for 3 or 4.
You're absolutely right, and it's really, excuse me, really impressive because there's some teams that try to score out of transition out of necessity, and Drexel's not that kind of team. Drexel has the offensive ability, like we said. Coach Boyle, his offense is designed to score regardless of who you are or how talented you are. It's all about motion and getting the ball to the open guy. So when you compound that with the fact that they're getting the ball from their defensive zone and they're crushing it in transition at an elite level, they're going to run up the score. And if you don't think that a rising junior and future recruits aren't watching these games going, wow, that's pretty awesome. I could be a big-time goal scorer in a unit like that. You're nuts if you don't think that impacts your recruiting.
Absolutely. I mean, this is an offense that looks like it's a lot of fun to be in, as that shot is sent wide by Tolmie. Linsky and Tierney, who have been the top 2 goal scorers for Hofstra today, held to just 1 goal and 1 assist. Sheridan swims past his man, takes on another, and a stop by Blumenthal.
And that's kind of been the story today. We alluded to it earlier. Drexel, with their constant motion on offense to score.
Look out.
Oh, here we go.
Save again by Blumenthal. The putback goes, but it's good. He landed in the crease, but they give it to him. It's Bryce Tolmie with the score.
Wow, I didn't even see how that ball ended up in the net.
On the rebound right in front, we'll get another look here. Hofstra able to create the turnover. First, it was Elder who missed, and then tiptoeing the crease.
And he stayed out of the second crease inside, because if he had landed on they call it the goal mouth, if he had landed on that, it would have been wiped off. He landed on the first crease, I guess we're calling it now.
He had a lot of confidence that he was out of there because he just laid in the crease for a little while after that one went in. So Hofstra gets one back, 4-goal game. Chase Patterson takes the face-off, and he wins it for Hofstra.
This is a great move. Chase Patterson coming in as a changeup. Why would you put in the second guy this late in the game? Because he uses a rake move, which is completely opposite that Herbert has been using all game. And it threw Jimmy Coyda for a loop, carried him right down the line, and took the easy scoop. So wouldn't be surprised to see Chase Patterson again. I know Coach Tierney has a rule that if Herbert loses 3 in a row, Chase Patterson goes in, and he goes until he loses. So we'll see Chase on the next one as well.
Sheridan almost had it taken away. Tolmie makes an individual effort. Shot never got through, and then Blumenthal collects.
And that's those were the key words there, Travis. It has been individual effort on offense for Hofstra versus Drexel for the most part, scoring because of ball motion.
Ryan Tierney getting back on defense broke his stick. So that's the stick you see. It's on the offensive end for Drexel as they will settle things down. We near 3 minutes to go. Dragons riding a 5-game winning streak. The winning streak, the longest since 2014. That's when Drexel had a 9-game winning streak. That's the one that led them to their last CAA title. Mulcahy dancing around, picks up the pole. Now Tomac beats his man. Tomac, bounce shot stopped. Deflected in front, and we got a crease violation on Drexel.
Surprised they didn't play that on.
So they're gonna
allow Hofstra to get that ball out.
Yeah, they're gonna bring this ball back, which is a tough break for the Pride because they were off and going. Nearly lost it on that far sideline. And Seth Tierney wants to talk things over with 2:35 to go, 4-goal game. Greg, we were talking about Ross Blumenthal, and you know, sometimes the numbers don't overwhelm you. We see some guys that they'll stop 15, 16 because they're seeing a ton of shots and it can wow people. Ross Blumenthal, when you watch games of Drexel's, he makes the saves he needs to make. He makes the ones here in the third and fourth quarter that are momentum killers. He just has this knack, and he's been that way again today.
You're absolutely right. And I think what happens in these games is Drexel's defense is very good at cutting down angles of their opponents. They're very good at scouting their opponents. So what I see, what he's seeing in Cage is tough angle shots, guys fading away early. The confidence starts to go up through the roof. So later in the game, when he is seeing some of these bigger opportunities to make a big save, it's there because he's already warm.
A couple of games ago against Delaware, I think is the perfect example of Blumenthal. Only made 12 saves in the game total in the 12-9 win. 6 of those saves came in the fourth quarter on their way to the upset of the Blue Hens. I mean, those are the types of moments that he has thrived in. We saw it in the CAA tournament 2 years ago when Drexel upset top seed UMass. He made a gigantic save in the third quarter going one-on-one with the UMass offensive player, and he matches sticks and comes up with his stop to keep Drexel in the lead. I mean, those are the moments that have made Blumenthal impressive. 9 saves so far today.
Yeah, big-time players make the big-time saves in the big-time moments, and that's him to a T. You're right. He's not getting a million shots a game because he's playing with a great offense and great defense in front of him. But he makes the saves he needs to, and that's what a goalie's supposed to do.
So under 2:30 to go. Tierney from way downtown deflected. Hofstra there for the backup. They keep possession. They reset the shot clock, and it shouldn't have. So they're going to set this back to, it sounds like 44 seconds, which would be the right move. It hit a defender before it got to Blumenthal, the goalie. Remember, the shot clock does not reset unless it hits the goal or the goalie in front. So Justin Linsky to trigger things in. They put 58 on the clock. This is Philbin on the run, beats his man, hand free, shot wide.
Rare opportunity getting right in front of the goal for a shot for Hofstra.
Linsky quickly off the restart. Just nowhere to go. Forte feeds, Philbin bounce shot, another save by Blumenthal.
And you're right. Look, fourth quarter, Hofstra's finally getting to spots of the field that you want to get to, and it doesn't even matter anymore. Doesn't even matter.
That is Blumenthal's 5th save of this fourth save of the fourth. He now has 10 saves overall in this game. And while Drexel cannot completely run out the clock, they can take this way down under a minute. Ryan Genord trying to run away with it. As I think we got a timeout call for Drexel. We do. They'll keep possession. 1:14 to go. The Dragons can smell it. Really impressive at both ends of the field, Greg. We talk a lot about the offense and all the different pieces that they have that can beat you, but defensively, guys like Sean Quinn and being a #1 cover guy. We've seen George Grippo as a short stick really impress. Patrick Udovich on the ground balls. End to end, this is a complete Drexel team we're seeing here in 2021.
And you know what? It's just cool to see. Coach Volker is a phenomenal coach. He's an awesome guy. He really embodies what Drexel is all about. And like we said, he's brought in some very talented coordinators, guys who not only are going to crush it on the recruiting trail, but when they get out there, you can tell in the huddles, he gives them the freedom to do what they need to do with their units. Every single player in the huddle is watching and listening. There's definitely respect all the way up the chain when it comes to the Drexel, and they're doing very big things. So it's cool to see this project come to fruition right now. because I don't think this is going to be a flash in the pan. This is going to be a Drexel team that this program is continuing to rise.
And how would you like to see some of the play of Volker, Durkin, and Boyle in practice? Those are all dudes that played at the highest level too.
You're absolutely right. I mean, what does more for you than seeing these guys walk in that you know have done what you want to do? And I've always said, you listen and you follow people that have what you want. And these guys all have it.
I think somebody stepped out of bounds there for Drexel, so it gives it back to Hofstra. And they get him. Ronnie Gunter had come in, the freshman midfielder, just to try to play keep away. So they give it back to the Pride with under a minute to go. Corey Kale spinning, swimming, and another stop. I think might have got a piece of the post too.
That was a lacrosse camp dodge right there. Almost pulled it off.
That shot sent wide. There's another save credited to Blumenthal. He's up to 11. And Drexel can play keep away with it now. 30 seconds left. The Dragons about to move to 7-2 on the year. We got a flag down. Last little piece from Ryan Tierney. 5-2, Drexel will move in CAA play. They've really solidified themselves as the second spot in the CAA standings. And they will finish off the year against Towson next weekend. A chance to go to the CAA tournament for the second straight year. There's your final. Drexel wins it 12-8 at home. Win number 6 in a row for the Dragons. They are red hot.